law is a niche that I've actually created as what I consider part of health law. And it stemmed from the fact that several years ago, my clients at a firm were mostly hospitals and other health sector clients. And I did notice that a lot of the family members interacting with the healthcare system didn't have legal advice, didn't even know that they ought to seek legal advice. I was lucky enough to be raised in a family with a lot of entrepreneurs. So I think the intimidation factor of going on your own wasn't as prevalent for me as other people when I had a bunch of role models, including some relatives who had started law practices on their own right out of articling when they were earlier in their careers. So the idea was less intimidating, but I also felt a passion for family health law. And once I came across this realization that there was a gap and realizing I could fill it, I think it's not so hard to take the risk when you have a passion that's driving you. The buck stops with you in terms of work product, in terms of expenses. So you have to balance all that and make some smart decisions about how to prioritize all of your resources, your time, your money, and there's no one to split it with, although the freedom that comes with it is there's no one I have to make decisions with. I get to make my own hours, which I think are not so different than lawyers at a firm anyway. But it means if I need to step out and pick up my son from daycare and pick up work in the evening, I don't worry about FaceTime. I know I'm getting the job done and I'm not accountable to be seen in the office. And if I want to take on things because they're pro bono or they're just interesting opportunities, I'm free to do that. I don't need anyone's permission to publish an article or write a blog or deal with any bureaucracy. I don't need anyone else to co-sign a check. I don't need anyone's permission to do anything, really. And so there's a huge amount of freedom that comes with being a solo lawyer. There's two significant differences between being on your own and being with a firm. Many more than that, but two main ones. One is that it can be very isolating. And a lot of solo lawyers work from home or in offices where they don't have a community around them. And so that's something that I think needs to be addressed, and every lawyer will have different needs for social engagement, but that is certainly a huge difference, and one you have to put a lot of energy into making sure you're not isolated and you have some sort of community around you. So I've done a number of things to try to make sure that I'm not isolated. The other one is the lack of mentorship. At a firm, it's incredible. You've got senior lawyers, you have other people to bounce ideas off of and ask for guidance, and you don't really have that in the same way. So again, you have to put that extra effort in to find mentorship and also make sure you're not going outside of your scope of what you're competent to do. I've been in solo practice since the beginning of 2013, and I've learned so much. One of the biggest challenges is actually not about being a lawyer, but running a business. That is not something that we learn in law school. Many lawyers don't need to have that skill set, but the majority of us have never run a business. And so I've had to learn the accounting language and how to do certain things to pass it off to my bookkeeper in the right way. I've had to become familiar with a lot of new Law Society rules that I didn't need to know when I was working at a firm, about how to manage trust accounts, about how to do marketing and admin, which all takes a lot of time. Definitely solo lawyers have to put a lot of attention into a variety of financial issues. It's so important, in terms of our dental and eye coverage, but also there's other type of benefits. Of course, I do need to pay attention to things like disability and life insurance. I have a family, and if anything happens to me, I don't have any coverage through a firm, so it's my responsibility to make the time to sign up for something, make my payments, and ensure that I'm looking after my family. In the next few years, definitely one of my goals is to expand awareness of family health law, because that's one of the real challenges of creating a niche, is no one is going into Google and typing in family health law. Lawyers don't know about it, potential clients don't know about it, so I would really like to expand awareness of that. There are so many people that do need this kind of advice that aren't getting it because it's not even on their radar that it exists.